Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to Talladega for round 32 of the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season as we live here from Talladega getting ready for the Alabama 500, the final race of the contender round for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series chase. I'm Rick Burton here in the broadcast booth giving you live coverage of what will be a 22-lap race that will decide which 8 drivers will advance into the round of 8, the Eliminator Round, beginning next weekend at Martinsville. After today, 4 drivers will be cut from the chase and will not have a shot to run for the championship in 2016. One of those guys who appears to be pretty safe on advancing is the number 11 of Denny Hamlin, your pole sitter for today's race, in the number 11 FedEx Office Toyota. On his outside, the 29 of Brian Scott, Rookie of the Year contender for RCR. Brian Scott, a great run in qualifying. He'll start second in his Charlotte Chevrolet. Row 2, Austin Dillon, your winner here from the spring here at Talladega, alongside the 19 of Carl Edwards. Unlike his teammate Denny Hamlin, who appears to be pretty safe, Edwards is 10 points behind the cutoff. Edwards, already a 2-time winner here in the chase, right now finds himself on the outside looking in. If he wants to make the chase or make the Eliminator Round, he needs to at least gain 10 points on Clint Bowyer. On row 3, the 27, Paul Menard and Martin Truex Jr., the 78, another driver currently on the outside looking in. And then you got Ryan Newman, Casey Mears, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Tony Stewart, your top 10 on the grid. Now let's take it down trackside for the command to fire up these engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
At the top of your screen, you will see your starting grid roll. That will allow you to see where your favorite driver is going to start in today's race here from Talladega. The field is now rolling onto the track. 42 cars leaving pit lane. We had a total of 45 entries, but 3 drivers did not qualify for today's race. 2000 Series champion Bobby Labonte, the 46 of Michael Annett, and the 26 of Dakota Armstrong did not qualify. Rounding out the field is David Gilliland in the 23, and the 30 being driven by a 10-time ARCA winner Bobby Gerhart, making his first Cup start in over 25 years, driving the number 30 for TMG. So Bobby Gerhart will complete the field of 42. And now yesterday in the truck race, you saw a fantastic finish. Johnny Sauter got the win and advanced into the Final 4 in the Truck Series chase. Today, nobody can win the championship today, but they can lose one. And on the front row, Denny Hamlin was eliminated from the championship contention last year because of this race right here, but he has a 40-point advantage. Now, let's look at the chase grid before we go green. Now, you see we have Denny Hamlin. He looks pretty safe. I mean, 40 points, and that's in front of Clint Bowyer. 40 points in front of Casey Kane. You know, you think he is safe. Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch just looking for a nice Talladega. Brad Keselowski, 13 points, or I think he's about 13 points. I'm not looking at it right now. I'm just guessing. You know, he's 13 points ahead, but still not safe. And Clint Bowyer, 3 points in front of Casey Kane. On the outside is Casey Kane, Edwards, Matt Kenseth, and Martin Truex Jr. It is going to be a dogfight to see who will make the final 8. The Eliminator Round about to begin next weekend at Martinsville. But to wrap up the contender round, it's Denny Hamlin and Brian Scott. Your front row, Austin Dillon, Carl Edwards. On row 2, they come down the line to get us underway. The Alabama 500 underway. Green flag is in the air. Racing down into turn 1. Denny Hamlin on the inside lane already clears the outside line of Brian Scott. See the 70 Martin Truex Jr. going up the track. Almost 3 wide already coming out of turn 2. Hamlin leads number 3 of Austin Dillon now sitting in second. Now we have the 19 of Carl Edwards on the inside lane. Paul Menard behind him. And 3 wide already. Here comes that 48. Jimmy Johnson, 3 wide on his teammate Dale Jr. But Jr.'s able to shut the door. And that car on the outside with no help, that is the 77 of Clint Bowyer. And now he has the 5 of Casey Kane going by on the inside lane. So as they stand now, it's Kane in the chase, most likely, and Boyer is out. As you see the 19 going for second place, here comes Carl Edwards for second on the 3 of Austin Dillon, and we're almost 4 wide. And in the middle, the 48, Jimmy Johnson. Ryan Newman, Martin Truex Jr. gives way to keep that 4 wide battle from happening. Falls back and has the 13 of Casey Mears behind him. So now it's the 2 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, and could Edwards get by Hamlin and lead a lap? That'll be an extra bonus point for that 19 car. Paul Menard 3rd, Dale Earnhardt Jr. 4th, and Matt Kenseth rounds out your top 5. Dillon falling back on the outside. Outside line's hasn't really been working a lot this weekend. And now we see the 88 going for 3rd place, Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the inside of the 27 of Paul Menard. And now Jr. not done yet. He's going to go after the 19, but here comes Kenseth to make it a 3-car Joe Gibbs Racing battle at the front. Edwards went high. Jr. got the run on the inside, but so did the 20 of Kenseth, now going up into second. But that's not done yet again. Here comes Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Busch makes it 3 wide on the 18 car. Heading into turn 3, and Hamlin looks like he'll lose the lead for the first time today in lap 3, as here comes his teammate, Matt Kenseth, on the inside lane. Matt Kenseth won here 4 years ago. Needing to win, most likely to advance, or at least really needs to outpoint a lot of cars. And he'll lead that lap, so Kenseth will get a bonus point towards his championship. Kurt Busch now in the second, Kyle Busch 3rd, Austin Dillon, and Regan Smith. The points on how they run will be changing pretty much every second of every lap. I mean, look at this racing. I mean, nobody. This is a 42 car pack. Every single car is in this lead pack, and any of them can wreck at any time. On the inside of the 48 is the 2 car. Brad Keselowski started outside the top 25 in that 2 car. The 4s have not really been that quick throughout the weekend. It's mainly been the Toyotas and the Joe Gibbs Toyotas and the RCR Chevrolets that have really been fast throughout the entire weekend. As now Kenseth and teammate Kyle Busch takes over the second spot away from older brother Kurt Busch. Further in the back, Ryan Blaney on the inside, Justin Allgaier on the outside. He has Trevor Bayne behind him on the inside. Eric Almirola, Greg Biffle, Kevin Harvick back here trying to hang back and let these guys race it out. Martin Truex Jr.'s back here. Michael Waltrip in the 98 car. Ryan Newman, the 1 of Jamie McMurray. Ryan Vickers. Vickers and Waltrip has the exact same paint scheme and sponsor, Maxwell House. So it's going to be a little hard to identify which is which, the 98 or the 15, as Edwards now dropping back on the outside with no help. And at the front of the field, it is still the 20 of Matt Kenseth in front of his teammate Kyle Busch. So now, if Kenseth were to win this race, that would bump most likely Clint Bowyer out of the chase. Austin Dillon sits third, but now Kyle Busch done running in second behind his teammate. He'll jump to the inside, going in the turn 3, and behind Busch on the inside, that is the 10 car of Regan Smith. Smith, though, not really close enough to help Busch on the inside lane. That's Dillon right there on the bumper with the number 20 on the outside, coming out turn 4. We have been clean and green as there's almost 3. They are 3 wide in the back, and they'll be side by side for the top spot as they come down the line. Kenseth and Busch, and Kenseth leads that lap again. But now don't forget about the 2 Penske Fords. Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano side by side for the lead. Logano pushes his team into the front, but now quickly checks to the inside lane, and behind Logano is the 47 of AJ Allmendinger. Now Clint Bowyer working his way back out to the front. And this is where a lot of contact, a lot of carnage can happen. You see, these cars right now are pretty good 3 wide, but once that one driver gets impatient and makes it 4 wide, that is where we're going to see a wreck. And Allmendinger in the third, Bowyer on the inside lane, and behind him is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in that 17 car. Logano won last weekend at Kansas, picked up his 5th win of the year, and Joey Logano, along with the 4 of Kevin Harvick, are automatically guaranteed a spot in round number 3. Harvick won at Charlotte, and Logano won last weekend at Kansas. Brad Keselowski, though, in the 2 car is not safe by no means. He's only 13 points above the cutoff. And here they are, 3 wide over 10 rows deep here at Talladega. A couple of cars just trying to hang with the pack here at the rear of the field. So far, though, it's still clean and green. As now we have 3 Fords side by side for the top spot. Keselowski, Logano, and now the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. making his way to the front on the inside lane. Here comes Stenhouse in the 17. He'll take the lead off turn number 2. Moves to the outside line, then jumping down low, Kyle Larson, and behind him is your pole center from earlier, the guy who led him about the first 3 laps, Denny Hamlin. And I saw Casey Kane almost 4 wide. It is 4 wide. That is the 41. You see Kurt Busch trying to get out of the way. Busch is realistically safe, but not mathematically safe. So Busch does not need to put himself in a position where he can crash and possibly somehow take himself out of the Eliminator Round, as here comes a 4 wide battle again. Tony Stewart getting aggressive on the inside. Laps are winding down now. We're gonna be about 12 to go next time by, and you can tell the intensity is starting to rise. They're 4 wide, trying to figure out where to put their cars. And look at this close racing. Clint Bowyer making contact with Dale Jr. Greg Biffle now rubbing doors with the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Ryan Newman and Brad Keselowski on the outside lane. Dylan almost in the back of the 48. They come from turn 4, and it's the 14 of Tony Stewart in front, making his final start at Talladega, in front of the rookie Brian Scott in the 29, as they're 4 wide behind him. 12 to go this time by. Drivers getting nervous, impatient, trying to make their way to the front. Keselowski on the inside of Clint Bowyer, behind the 48 of Johnson in the outside lane. They come off turn 2. Scott now trying to get a push from the 6 of Trevor Bayne to get alongside the 14 of Tony Stewart. Four wide still. That's David Reagan on the inside of Eric Almirola. In front of him, his teammate Brian Vickers in that 15. Now we have the 2 Hendrick Chevrolets, Casey Kane in the 5, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88. Casey Kane is one of those drivers on the outside looking in, but could he possibly win today? He jumps to the inside of Brian Scott, 3 wide for 2nd place. Casey Kane makes the move to the inside, and most likely he'll get the run off turn 2 and get 2nd away, and he should have a pretty good run on the 14 of Tony Stewart. Down the back straightaway, Tony Stewart continues to lead. Could Stewart possibly win here at Talladega in his final start? But now, Casey Kane's going to make it a little bit hard for him as Kane jumps to the inside. And they're still 4 wide. Brian Vickers, David Reagan, close to one another in turn 3. And now Casey Kane is not in a must-win situation right now. None of our drivers. And then we got contact. Stenhouse 6 out Logano. Kyle Busch is involved. Wrecking in the tribal. Caution is out at Talladega. Kyle Busch, one of our drivers who was not completely safe, but was not really on the bubble, involved in our first caution of the day here on lap 13. And Casey Kane is in front of the field. And we have Clint Bowyer on pit road. Clint Bowyer, one of our chasers, involved, and so is the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. So this is going to take Clint Bowyer out of the contender round. Clint Bowyer is not going to advance. There is no way Bowyer will be able to stay in the top 8 in points. So it appears that Clint Bowyer's run for a championship with Furniture Row Racing takes a big hit and ends on lap 13. The 98 Michael Waltrip on pit road, as the 5 of Casey Kane and teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. are leading. Their teammate Jimmy Johnson is struggling to possibly make the round 3. Matt Kenseth involved in the 20 car. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. There's Alex Bowman, Paul Menard, Elliott Sadler, David Gilliland damaged. Joey Logano's damaged, but Logano, that doesn't matter for him. I mean, he's already safe. Back here also the 18, the 2 car, the 41. Not sure how some of these cars are damaged or if there's any damage on their cars. Johnson will stay out as Sadler, Menard, and Stenhouse will take this chance to come down pit road. And Johnson would love to see as much cars go behind the wall as possible. That way he will have a few more points to have, as the 98 and the 77 will go one lap down. Clint Bowyer and Michael Waldrop. Cautions out at Talladega, Casey Kane and Dale Jr. Your top 2, as the 17 is done for the day, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. The big one here at Talladega is very common, and you're going to see here off turn for the 17 is, there he is in the middle of that 4 wide battle coming into the trial, and there's a car on the inside that appears to be the 15 of Brian Vickers. Turns him down into David Reagan. Stenhouse back up the track into Kyle Busch. And I believe the 2 car did get involved. Brad Keselowski, I believe he did get a little bit of contact as Bowyer's already spinning behind him. There's Elliott Sadler. Johnson almost had it miss. Got clipped by Bowyer. And then I believe he ran into the 98 of Michael Waldrop. There's a little bit of lag, and it's kind of making it a little bit harder to see. But another look at it. Vickers gets into the left rear corner battle on the 17th. Stenhouse spins back up the track into Logano and Kyle Busch. It's hard to tell if Keselowski got involved or not, but Bowyer spun out, got hit by the 98 of Michael Waldrop. And Johnson almost had it missed, got hit by Bowyer. I'm not sure the damage on the 48 will be enough to send him behind the wall as he did now. Had to run into the back of the 98, so I'm not quite sure. Alex Bowman ran in, got some contact in the 7 car. The 17 of Stenhouse has already taken his car behind the wall. Elliott Sadler and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. are done for the day, leaving us with at least 40 cars on track. It'll be 39 should Clint Bowyer not be able to continue. He's already 2 laps down. The 98 of Michael Waldrop also has now went 1 lap down in the 98 car. But Casey Kane is your leader, so with Bowyer and Johnson and a lot of cars having trouble, this has really put a good possibility on Casey Kane's chances of making the chase, or making the final 8. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, Biffle, Scott, Bain, none of these guys are in the chase. They're just trying to get the win. But then you got Truex trying to make his way back into that top 8. You have Denny Hamlin running fairly well. He should be fine. Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, David Reagan. I mean, we have like only 3 chasers inside the top, I believe the top 20. Have to go back to 23rd place to find the 4th chaser, the 19 of Carl Edwards. You are currently watching the Alabama 500, and the 5 of Casey Kane is your leader, and we'll be right back with the restart. After a pretty good amount of cleanup being done around the track, we're back. Getting ready to go racing here this time by with 5 to go. Can the 5 of Casey Kane hang on? Clint Bowyer behind the wall. Clint Bowyer will not advance into the final 8. Tough break for the 5-hour Energy Toyota Camry for Clint Bowyer. 17 of Stenhouse out of the race. The 9 of Elliott Sadler, and also the 98 of Michael Waldrop. He is now taking his car behind the wall. Done for the afternoon. Casey Kane most likely will bypass Clint Bowyer in the championship, but where is Kenseth, Truex, and Edwards, the other 3 drivers who are on the outside looking in? We already saw Truex in 8th place, running very well right now. We have Edwards 23rd in the 19, not looking so good right now for the 19 car to advance. And then you have Matt Kenseth right now in 37th. It does not appear that the 20 car will be making the final 8 at all either. So right now, I believe Kenseth, possibly Johnson, could be in trouble. We pretty much know for a fact that the 77 of Clint Bowyer will not advance, so the other 3 drivers are yet to be determined, but it appears that Kenseth, Johnson, and possibly Carl Edwards could be the 3 in trouble. So, still 5 to go. Anything can happen here at Talladega, especially in only 5 laps of racing left to go. Casey Kane, your leader. Can he hang on to pick up his first career win at Talladega? How about the guy behind him, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart? Neither have won in 2016. We're back underway. Casey Kane does not have to win this race to advance. He just needs a pretty good top 10 finish, and most likely he will be fine. Dale Jr. on the outside, Ryan Newman, Tony Stewart. Now Ryan Newman won the Daytona 500, so he is no stranger to winning on a restrictor plate race like Daytona and Talladega. And here they come with a run on the 88 of Junior. Junior trying to block their momentum down the back straightaway, and he jumps in front of Ryan Newman, and here comes the 88, Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the inside for the lead. Brian Scott makes it 3 wide on his teammate Ryan Newman in that 31 car. So now it's Junior, your leader. Can he get down and get in front of that 29? He can't. They jump to the inside, the 2 RCR Chevrolets behind Junior, but now Kane does. Here comes Kane back to the inside for the lead. Into the triangle, Casey Kane, Dale Earnhardt Jr. side by side for the lead. Ryan blending out in this battle for the win. That 12 car in the mix. You have Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Greg Biffle, Austin Dillon, Eric Almirola. 4 to go. Matt Kenseth not going anywhere. Johnson. Kyle Busch would be worried if the 48 was at the front, but because Johnson's having trouble, Kyle Busch should be safe to advance. Maybe Keselowski could be in trouble. He's out here outside the top 25. Is he in trouble? Have just no idea until that checker flag waves, and it's still Casey Kane in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr., but Jr. jumps to the inside of Kane, shuts the door. And it's still anybody's race at the front. Where do you want to be on that last lap? Casey Kane in front of his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. Then now you see that car on the inside. That's the 3 of Austin Dillon. He won here in the spring. Picked up his first career win here at Talladega. His teammate Ryan Newman won the Daytona 500 back in the spring. Chase Elliott in the middle of those 2 RCR Chevrolets has been fast all weekend long. But they come from turn 4, and it's still the 2 Hendrick Chevrolets leading the pack at Talladega. Casey Kane, Dale Earnhardt Jr., 2 to go from the Talladega Superspeedway. If we complete this next lap under green, this race will end with no green-white checker finish, something that Casey Kane does not want to see happen. It's the 2 Hendrick Chevrolets versus the 2 RCR Chevrolets. Does Junior stay behind Kane, and does he wait until the last lap to make a pass? Newman 3rd, Dillon 4th. Last several years, Dale Jr. has had at least 1 win in his year at Hendrick Motorsports. Since 2012. But now, behind the 5 of Casey Kane, white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go from Talladega. Austin Dillon jumps to the inside of Ryan Newman. Can't make the pass. It's still Kane in front of Junior. The 3 wide behind him. Tony Stewart on the outside. Chase Elliott behind him. They're still single file out the front. Who is going to make the move? Who is going to make that last second move? And here comes the 88, Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the inside of Casey Kane. Can Kane get the push from Ryan Newman? Can Dillon get it up to the 88 of Jr. to make the pass? Behind Dillon, it's Regan Smith. Can Austin Dillon sweep the races at Talladega? Here comes Dillon. Behind him is Regan Smith. They're going to be side by side for the win. Can Dillon come get another win at Talladega? On the outside is Dale Jr. They come to the line. Austin Dillon wins it. Austin Dillon wins in a photo finish with Dale Earnhardt Jr. And Austin Dillon will get his 2nd career win at Talladega. What a pass by the 3. He gets that number 3 car in victory lane for the 2nd time in 2016. And for Dillon, his 2nd time here at Talladega. And how about Chris Buescher getting a top 5? A great one. We have not talked about Chris Buescher at all. And he comes up with a top 5. Kevin Harvick a top 10. Dale Jr. 2nd. Regan Smith 3rd. Brian Vickers 10th. Carl Edwards came out to get 13th in that 19 car, but will that be enough? Let's see where some of our chasers ended up. It is safe to say that Clint Bowyer will not advance. It is safe to say that the 20 of Matt Kenseth will not advance. So I believe it's going to really come down between Johnson, Keselowski, and Edwards. I believe will be and maybe even Truex. I'm not sure about Truex. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I believe the 19, if the 19 finish somewhere near the 78, that means I believe the 19 should be okay. But we have no idea, and we are going to take a break to gather our thoughts and to see which drivers advance and which drivers will come up a spot short on advancing into the Eliminator Round. We will be right back with the news. Okay, we are back, and we have figured out which drivers have made the round 3 and which drivers have failed to advance. The 4 drivers who will not participate in the Eliminator Round will be the number 77 of Clint Bowyer, the number 20 of Matt Kenseth, the 19 of Carl Edwards, and the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. It came really down between the 48 of Jimmy Johnson and the 19 of Carl Edwards, and Edwards will miss round 3 by only 3 points. 3 points. That is 3 positions on the track. And the driver who won chase race number 2 and chase race number 3 will not advance in the round number 3. Edwards, Truex, and Kenseth, all part of the Joe Gibbs Racing, or should I say, all 4 drivers who missed round 3 were a part of that Joe Gibbs Racing Furniture Row Racing Alliance. Bowyer, Truex, and Edwards and Kenseth, which leaves Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin as Toyota's only hopes to win the championship. And they will join Casey Kane, who was able to was able to make his way into the top 8. The only driver who was able to do so. Kane bumped Bowyer out, and Keselowski, Johnson, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, and Hamlin all was able to hang on and make the Eliminator Round. So your results is on your screen right now. So is your chase grid after Talladega, and what a fantastic weekend it was for the NASCAR Speed Up Series and the NASCAR Cape Royal Truck Series, and it will continue again next weekend at the Paperclip, the short track in Martinsville Speedway. That'll be the kickoff of the Eliminator Round, the round of 8, heading towards Homestead Miami Speedway. So this season is really starting to come to a close. And your winner today, Austin Dillon, not a championship contender no longer, but a second career win. And a second win here from Talladega. Congrats to him on the win. We'll see you next weekend at Martinsville. Goodbye, everyone.